Hey, yo, what it do, YouTube family? It's your boy Robert Williams here with another volume of Dear Younger Me. In Dear Younger Me, we talk about the things that you should know and the things that I wish I knew when I was younger. Well, family, today I wanted to talk to you real quickly about the topic of forgiveness. We're going to talk about the topic of forgiveness. And so, you guys, take a look, man. What I wish I knew, what I wish was shared with me, and things that you should know for my dear younger me, my younger self. Seek forgiveness, ask for forgiveness, and forgive others. There's so much power in getting, receiving, and asking for forgiveness. You really don't understand its significance until you're older. And, there's things that you're going to do in this life that is going to make people feel a certain way. And what you want to make sure that you do and do your part in it is if you've disrespected someone, if you've made someone feel less than, intentionally or not intentionally, if you purposely did something and later you found out and you realized that that was wrong, please apologize and ask for the forgiveness of the individual. And also, too, look, if someone has done you wrong, if someone has disrespected you, and you know that that was really not truly the intention, and they come and they ask for forgiveness from you, I want to implore that you forgive that person. Forgive them for their wrongdoing, as you would want to be forgiven for your wrongdoing. There's so much power in it. You won't understand until you get older how much power there is in asking for forgiveness and in receiving forgiveness. When you ask for forgiveness, you can say to yourself, look, I know I did wrong. I'm asking for forgiveness. How that person responds, whether they say they forgive you or not, that's not something you can control. But if you ask for forgiveness and you meant it in your heart, you know that you did what you could do to rectify the situation, rectify the issue. You've asked for that forgiveness. Now, on the flip side, if someone wants forgiveness from you, what you can truly do is just say, look, I've forgiven that person. I can promise you the feeling that you'll have, the weight will be lifted off of your shoulders. I promise you, I promise you, I promise you. There was a situation years ago in business where I felt someone did me wrong and mess up what I felt like could be a great, what could have been a great future in the things that we were doing in our business. And, I was well over the issue at a certain point, but yet it always still just kind of came back. And even though I didn't care, it didn't really matter too much anymore because it was just so old news, wasn't really that big of a deal, it still kind of egged and nagged at me. However, there was a point in my life where I just said, you know what? I forgive that person. The Lord said as he was on the cross, forgive them for they know not what they do. That person didn't know what they were doing. They didn't know the impact that it would have had on many people's lives, not just mine. And when I forgave that person, I was able to be fully released of any animosity or feeling. Even though time had passed, I really didn't care. But truly, it wasn't until the time where I forgave that person is when I was able to see them in a whole new light. And the relationship was very cordial and fine and peaceful and blessed thereafter. But all prior to that, I always had it in the back of my mind. So you want to forgive people so that you can release yourself of that stronghold and that burden. And you want to ask for forgiveness of others so that you can release yourself of that agony and that pain and that stress that you are causing yourself. Because even though you're like, I don't need to forgive for what I did, I didn't do anything wrong. But look, conviction will prick at you like a thorn in the side. And you'll know that you need to ask for forgiveness so that you can be released of this thing that's egging you. and keeping you up at night, or something that when you see that person or that group of people, it's always going to come to mind. I promise you, that's what's going to happen. Okay? So you want to forgive yourself. Look, dear younger me, forgive others, forgive yourself. Ask for forgiveness from others and ask for forgiveness from yourself as well. Because when you can also forgive yourself, then you can continue to move forward. And that's what we need to do. Look, life's not going to stop. We need to do our part. We need to ask for forgiveness so we can continue to move forward with our lives, and the other person can continue to move forward with their lives as well. All right? So that's the short little episode I have for today's volume of Dear Younger Me. Look, more episodes to come, great topics that we're going to be talking about. But until next time, continue to think, live, and be unstoppable. Peace out.